I'm Katie Ross, and this is my co-host, Jessie Hip.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Film or Flop.
Today we will be discussing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the differences between the book and its film adaptation.
This should be fun. Let's get started.
I know, I'm excited. Alright, so some plot point differences that we notice are, in the book, Chief Bromden is a schizophrenic patient who suffers from hallucinations, and he's the main character.
In the movie, there's no narration from him. It's mostly focused on McMurphy in the movie.
Interesting. Another plot point difference is the fishing scene is actually planned in the book and is shot down by Nurse Ratched, and Dr. Spivey is actually supposed to join the patients on the trip.
In the movie, it is nothing like that. It's just like a whirlwind of an adventure, and he rigs a bus and takes them on a fishing trip without anyone's knowledge at the asylum.
Wow. Some scenes that are completely eliminated would be Cheswick commits suicide after McMurphy begins to conform to Nurse Ratched's ideas.
And in the movie, McMurphy never conformed to Ratchet's ideas, and it never showed Cheswick's suicide or anything like that.
Did it ever imply it?
No.
That's weird. Okay, so some added scenes. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, yeah. There's, in the movie, McMurphy's electroshock therapy. That's never mentioned. Well, you never see anything like that in the book because it is being narrated.
Right. Because Chief narrates. So, yeah. Some character depiction differences. In the book, McMurphy is more selfish, and he gambles and bets against the other patients for actual monetary gain. Whereas in the movie, he's made out to be a hero and only gambles for cigarettes.
And in the book, Nurse Ratched is portrayed as pure evil, while in the movie, she doesn't realize she's evil. It's kind of like her job, that's what she's supposed to be doing for the patients, and she thinks she's helping them.
So one of the characters that actually got left behind, so to speak, would be Big George, and he actually plays a role in at least one pivotal scene. But in the book, in the movie, he's never even mentioned or seen.
Nope.
So.
And another key person is Dr. Spivey. He's totally more involved in the book. He's in the patient's group when they have their group discussion. He sits in on those, whereas in the movie, he doesn't play that big of a role.
Yeah.
And he's just he's there.
Yeah. All right, so we decided that the director and author characterization tools definitely differ. The director can actually build background stories and provide as much information, or even develop each individual patient's characteristics due to the lack of time that the author actually had. So yeah.
And the tones of the movie and the book are totally different. Well, I wouldn't say totally, but they are quite different.
Yeah.
In the book, the tone is more sympathetic, and the patients they don't even realize they want freedom. They just want help, and it shows their individual struggles in the book. Whereas in the movie, the tone is oppressive. Nurse Ratched is referred to as a ball cutter, and patients have no privileges. They're just in there.
Another thing was that the director was actually able to use certain settings in the movie to add drama. You could actually see the characters in the asylum and how it affects them, and it just adds a really realistic value.
So, in what ways did the movie meet your expectations?
Well, obviously, the patients were crazy, and Nurse Ratched was pretty mean.
Yeah.
But I think that was about it, honestly.
Did it surprise you in any way?
Yeah, I thought it was super weird how it focused on McMurphy instead of Chief. That was just a complete change in POV.
It can change a whole.
It's crazy. And also, there was no mention of hallucinations or fogs, and they're both super, they're key elements to the book.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. If you hadn't read the book, would you have liked the movie more?
Absolutely. I think anything in that situation, if you read the book, you're always going to be that critic who's well, it's not like the book at all. And, they're
Definitely.
Not. So.
Yeah. So how would you rate the adaptation? 5 stars?
Me not reading the book, I'd say it would be 4 or 5.
I couldn't agree with you more. So thanks for joining us on Film or Flop. I'm Katie Ross.
And I'm Jessie Hepp.
Saying
Goodbye, English 3!